So with hurricane season approaching, we're urging all of our residents to become prepared. You should have a 72-hour preparedness kit at a minimum because the first 72 hours are on you. And what that means is after a big storm, a lot of devastation occurs. And when that happens, our emergency services and public services are overwhelmed and might not be able to get to you within a couple of days' time. So you need to be prepared to have a few days' supplies on hand so you can survive and take care of your family for a few days before emergency services can get to you.
With that, in this kit, we have some examples of basic items that are needed for survival in the first 72. Non-perishable food, canned goods. Also, you have diapers, wipes, food for a child or an infant that you may need, books, toys to keep them occupied during a disaster, a basic first aid kit, pet needs, including your paperwork for your pet, basic tools, transistor radio, flashlight, extra batteries, cash. And the reason why cash is there because during right after a storm, communications have failed. So you will not be able to use a credit card or a debit card at a store if it is open. So you need to rely on cash. You also have basic hygiene items. We will place a lot of these items in a basic kit, something similar to this, where it will take 1 or 2 containers and you have it stored ready to go for a storm. You need 1 gallon of water per day per person as an average water consumption. So with that, we will take our water.
And when you have your water, make sure that you have the 1 gallon per person per day. But remember, always have a little bit extra if you can, because after the power's out, most people don't have air conditioning. They're working outside, cleaning around their house. They're getting overheated. Make sure you have more than enough water.
Personal hygiene items, toothbrush, toothpaste, food, because you can always open up just a can of food and eat it straight out the can. Also, don't forget about a can opener. You need to be able to open your canned goods as you have them packed for your survival. Diapers, wipes, food. You know, a lot of us have children, infants and all that. They can't fend for themselves. So you have to be able to take care of them just like if you would on a normal day that's not in a disaster. You know, activities to keep your child occupied. It could be books, toys, coloring books, something along those lines. Think about it, people getting hurt, injured, because right after a storm, you know, you're gonna be outside removing debris, picking up stuff. You could get with scrapes, cuts, bruises, or whatever. To have a basic first aid kit to be able to take care of those needs. Pets, you need to make sure that you have your leash, collars, paperwork for your pets. Muzzle, if you got to go to some type of shelter afterwards, you got to be able to take your pet and have a muzzle on your pet to be able to make sure that everyone is safe. Basic tools, you know, you will need basic tools, screwdrivers, wrenches, pliers, hammer. So to be able to secure anything that may be damaged or flying after a storm, so that way you have it. Other items of, you know, it could be good is Gatorade. We talked about the 1 gallon of water that's needed per person per day. Gatorade, if you're exerting a lot of energy and a lot of sweat and all that, you need to be able to replenish your electrolytes in your body. So Gatorade or Powerade or something along those lines. Transistor radios. Transistor radios are really good because they still work after a storm. Have extra batteries for it. Be able to listen to it. You can listen to the weather. Have a weather radio. This transistor radio is a combination weather radio and an AM/FM radio. So you will still be able to get the basic weather information along with the information is needed from the media that are the local officials as they broadcast on the media over radio. Flashlights, also extra batteries for flashlights is at night, so that way you can see what's going on. This is a little lantern which works great that can be placed on a table. Having your important documents such as your insurance documents that you need after a storm to be able to make a claim. Have them in a container that is plastic so they don't get wet or damaged or whatever. Have your extra cash in the envelope so that way you can make sure you have the resources needed to be able to get whatever supplies you may have afterwards. Blankets and pillows to be able to, if you have to go somewhere, you can have a blanket and a pillow available to you to be able to sleep reasonably comfortable. This is your basic kit that is needed for the first 72 on you. You know, there may be other items that you may need. If you have medication that you take, make sure you pack your medication, your prescription medication. If you have any special dietary needs, when you're looking at your food, make sure that you have your special dietary need items in that kit.
Remember, we encourage everyone to stay informed and stay prepared. Make sure you have your kit ready and heed any warnings for evacuations. Pay attention to our social media from the parish government and other agencies around the area. Stay tuned to local media, to public service announcements, and remember to be safe.